What's happening, guys? Thanks for tuning in to the forum. This is a sad day for the WoW community because Deus Vox, at one point they were the #2 guild in the US. They disbanded a couple weeks ago because of an e-whore. You heard that correctly. One of the best guilds in the US disbanded because of an e-whore. Right now you can do one of two things. You can go down to the links below and check out the article for yourself, or listen to me talk to you about the video with some commentary in it as well. Sorry, my dog's being annoying. So, please subscribe while you're down there. But nonetheless, here we go. This article comes to me from World of Ming, great WoW blog, mainly about PvP. What I'm about to read is true. This is from a guy, Unethical. I think he's in Deus Vox because he was, it says, I am posting this on behalf of some jabroni from Deus Vox. First things first, sorry.
Wait, did you just say jabroni?
Yeah, he actually wrote jabroni in the article, but okay, let's start from the beginning. There's a girl, Pheromone, and her name is Ruth, and she is the notorious e-whore. She joined Deus Vox near the end of Wrath, and she was an okay healer at the time, but given how much of a joke Icecrown Citadel was, near the end it was kind of hard to gauge talent, especially for a healer back then. But she showed up every week, was kind of fun to be around, typically like a giggly, flirty girl. Like, that's the basic internet routine for any girl. Everyone was happy and everyone was having fun in the guild, and they were excited about Kata coming, and it was just a race to get level 85 and to progress as fast as you can. Hey, Clarence, get out of there. Hey. Sorry, my dog.
Clarence is his dog.
Yeah, Clarence is joining us for the show as well. So it turns out that she is a manipulative bitch, okay? She turns out to be a complete e-whore, but she is fucking good at what she does. Okay, so I need to introduce some characters. The guild leader is Rak, R-A-K, and one of the chief officers is Carry, C-A-R-R-Y. That is a male name. So Ruth wants nothing to do with Rak because he's the GM and he wants to be kind of left alone. He's just there to run the guild. But Carry is the dude who's always out and about, helping people out, being a good guy, easygoing. Nothing really would get him angry, and he was a great player, great officer, and great friend. But Ruth started to hang out with him, in quotes, and slowly but surely Ruth had a problem all of a sudden with Carrie hanging out with Rex. So over the following couple weeks, the two apparently fought in officer chat about everything from Rack's abrasiveness of recruitment to loot to decisions to the usefulness of the other two officers, Lamisa and Taka, and everything in between. Ruth's voice in the back of Carrie's head the whole time. Eventually it escalated to the point where one Tuesday before the raid, Carrie told Rack that either he gives him Guildmaster, or either him or Ruth Guildmaster, or a couple raiders, like core raiders, were going to leave and join Vodka, another top-notch guild. And so Rack...
Did you say Ruth? Is it Ruth the girl?
Yeah, yeah. And Carrie... So Ruth is saying, I can totally fucking mindfuck Carrie. And Carrie is like co-GM, sort of. And so Carrie says, Rack, you give me or Ruth GM, and everything is fine. But if you don't, we're leaving. And so he's like, fuck, okay, the guild will disband if I do this. So he says, okay, here's GM. So he passes over GM to Carrie, who right away demoted Lamisa and Taka from being officers to just normal raiders. Taka had pretty much quit, but he was an officer for 5 years, so that's just kind of like a slap in the face. He's like an idle officer, but he's just on to just like chill with people. And now, here's where it gets really interesting. During this whole time, Ruth was rotting Carrie from the inside out. It became quickly pretty apparent that she was e-whoring herself to a bunch of other guys in the guild. So she is... let me let my dog out really quick.
I'm gonna jump in and say two things while I just mess with this dog. First of all, if you don't know who Deus Vox is, they make a lot of add-ons, including Deus Vox Encounters, and
yeah,
it's one of the best. It's one of the best boss mods out there.
I use it to this day.
Yeah, it's great.
It's good. But anyway, this is going to be like a 2-part show, so you're going to have to subscribe to watch the next one or go to our channel.
I want to say one more thing.
Yeah.
This Carrie guy, you know, I've seen stuff like this happen before. But I'm going to give two. Well, I'm going to give one great example. I'm not going to go into.
Can we do it after? Can we do it after?
We can do it after, yeah.
Okay. Because I've heard this story before and it's long, but it is pretty good. So she's e-whoring herself to the main Resto Druid, the main Resto Shaman, and the main Shadow Priest. Okay, those are important classes, especially Resto Druid. Not so much Resto Shaman, but still important.
I have one question. Was she purposely trying to disband the guild, or was she just a complete slut?
I think a little bit of both. I think she knew...
was trying to get the guild disbanded?
I believe so. I think that she knew what she was capable of, and she did a really good job. Whatever. I think maybe it's 1/3 she's a whore, 1/3 she wants to fuck up the guild, and the last third she's a fucking lunatic. Okay,
Well,
so
is she hot?
I don't know. Some of this might have been justified if she was hot, but we don't know. If she's rating
never justified, because any relationship over WoW, if it goes to shit,
yeah.
Dating over the internet has been done before. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't work. It's been done a million times before.
It doesn't work.
I've seen it work a couple times. But when it goes to shit, and then you would let it affect the people around you and even your own damn guild, especially when it's that high ranking of a guild, number 2 in the U.S., that's a pretty good spot.
Yeah, just keep it out of guild is the point.
Yeah, but if it's gonna go to shit, and you find out, if you don't find out the girl is a whore, or if you do find out the girl is a whore, leave your guild out of it.
Like act accordingly. Like it's very simple. But I need to continue because this story is fucking long. I'm trying to. I've pretty much skipped 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 paragraphs of information. Unnecessary information, but so she's flirty and provocative with other people in the guild. So I'm gonna read to you at the very end of our 2-part video of Deus Vox disbanding. I'm gonna read you the chat of what she is sending to random people in the guild.
That video will probably be our first not safe for work.
NSFV. Okay. So it didn't take long for Rack to regret giving up GM to Carrie, but at the time, one good thing did come of it, as Carrie promoted Songo to being an officer. I don't know who these people are, but I'm assuming that since the good thing that he did, I assume Songo was a good player and a good guy. So it wasn't a big surprise, as there was a lot of talk of him being promoted anyways when Rack was still GM. So then Rack tried everything he could to try to get Guild back under his control. Everything from trying to talk Carrie into just giving it back or calling Blizzard directly. So nothing happened, and Carrie's little clique guild at this point was being run to the ground from the biased decisions to the 7-hour wipe fest on Double Dragons, that's Valion, and Thuralion, the week after they had killed it. So they had already killed it, and just because Carrie is the GM, the mindset of all the raiders has changed, and they are wiping for 7 hours on the boss that they've already killed multiple times. So that's just, keep that in mind. So at the end of the day, Rack left and joined Premonition, and Deus Vox was left with a hole that would probably never be filled. And so a couple of other people quit because they just couldn't stand what was happening. And a group of the raiders, led by Songo and a mage named Thix, confronted Carrie about how his guild was being run and the shitty decisions being made and everything. Songo was mad that his only officer, he was one of the last people to find out that Hand was leaving. I don't know who that is either. Ruth, of course, being one of the first.
What's the song on the video?
We're fine.
Can I jump in and say one quick thing?
Yeah.
First of all, if there are any e-horrors watching right now, it's not just stupid to do so. It's also against the law, actually.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Actually, there's some comments. I'm gonna go into that later. Maybe we can do the rant about that. Okay, well, I need to finish because I need to give like a good endpoint to continuation. So Songo, Rack, another druid who was a really good friend of Carrie's, and this guy Sorva spent about 45 minutes talking to Carrie, and they finally got him to cave in and give Guildmaster to Songo. So Carey did cave in, and he gave the GM to Songo after removing all of his alts and Ruth from Deus Vox. So Carey and Ruth are gone. So both of them applied to vodka, and you know where this is going now. They're vodka's problem, where they're currently members under the names of Connie Chung and Percy Miller. So those are their new names, so you can go troll them if you want. At the time, people in Deus Vox were ecstatic to have the guild back, but Rack is still in premonition, and they wanted him to come back, and he didn't. Rack said that there was no way.
Right.
Rack said there was no way that the guild would come back as with Carey as the GM. So naturally, they all assumed that now that he and the E-Slut are gone, they can get the guild back going like it was not a month before the drama erupted. By all accounts, Rack wrestled with this idea for days, losing a lot of sleep over it, and talking to Songo about it in Vent, and getting so emotional about it that he couldn't speak anymore, and resorted to typing the rest of the conversation. Ouch. That Tuesday, they were all getting ready for raid, and on Vent ready to slay the internet dragons, Songo dropped a third bombshell on the guild. That due to IRL reasons, he did not have the time to properly put into running the guild, and he would leaving to rejoin his old guild, Eternal Reign, which I applied to, by the way, but I was not able to get in because they accepted a trial mage before me. That sucks. Eternal Reign is on Lightbringer Alliance, by the way. Fact that is not mentioned in here, so yeah. Lightbringer Alliance. So a good handful of people, while inside the guild, were apping to other guilds, and 4 ended up going to another guild I've never heard of. A couple went to Premonition, Juggernaut, Vodka, and so right now the guild is splitting up, all because this E-whore rotted them from the inside out. I'm going to stop the video, and please tune in to the next part.